In one of the hottest places on Earth, a weekend camping trip suddenly turned into a desperate fight for survival. What happened to Alex Lofgren and Emily Henkel inside Death Valley proves that sometimes, a single moment can change everything. On April 3, 2021, Alex and Emily left California for what they expected to be a peaceful outdoor getaway. Both loved adventure and often explored remote landscapes together. Their car was packed with water, food, and camping gear, and nothing about that morning suggested the danger ahead. Earlier that day, a park ranger recommended a quiet backcountry area deep inside Death Valley. The road leading there was rough and isolated, but Alex and Emily were confident their vehicle could handle it. For them, the remoteness was part of the experience. As they drove deeper into the valley, the scenery became more dramatic. Endless desert stretched in every direction, surrounded by towering mountains. The silence felt overwhelming, as if the world had paused. It was beautiful, but also unforgiving. Late in the afternoon, that beauty turned into a problem. Two loud pops suddenly echoed across the desert. They stepped out and saw that sharp rocks had destroyed both passenger side tires. With only one spare tire and no phone signal, they were stranded nearly 22 miles from the nearest paved road. No traffic. No shade. No easy rescue. Instead of panicking, they focused on making a plan. That night, they studied their maps and decided to hike toward Mormon Point through a mountain pass, believing it was their best chance of finding help. Before leaving, they wrote a note explaining their situation and placed it inside the vehicle. Outside, they arranged rocks into a large arrow pointing in the direction they planned to walk. It was a simple step, but one that would later help rescuers track them. At 4 a.m., under the glow of the moon, they began their journey. Walking early helped them avoid the extreme daytime heat, and for a while the hike felt manageable. A few hours later, they found something encouraging. A geocache hidden along the trail with signatures from other hikers. Seeing proof that people had successfully traveled this route boosted their confidence. But the terrain soon became much tougher. The open desert narrowed into a steep canyon with tall rock walls and uneven ground. Every step required careful attention. Then they reached a major obstacle, a tall waterfall dropping straight down the canyon. There was no obvious way around it, and they had no climbing equipment. After searching for another path and finding none, they faced a difficult decision: turn back and risk running out of water, or carefully attempt the descent. Alex chose to scout a way down while Emily watched from above, guiding him to move slowly. At first it seemed possible. Then the rock became unstable. Alex called out that he couldn't see a safe route and would climb back up. Moments later he slipped and fell. Emily froze in shock, then heard his voice from below. He was still alive and urged her to get help. Looking around quickly, she remembered spotting a narrow crack in the canyon wall that might allow her to climb down. It looked dangerous, but it was the only option. Carefully, she lowered herself between the rock walls. Halfway down, the handholds disappeared. With no other choice, she dropped the remaining distance after tossing her backpack below. The impact broke her ankle. Despite the intense pain, she pushed herself forward toward Alex. Tragically, he did not survive the fall. Suddenly, Emily realized the full reality of her situation. She was injured, alone, and trapped on a ledge with no clear path out. That night was filled with fear and disbelief. But when morning came, she made a decision that likely saved her life. She refused to give up. She checked their supplies: water, food, a survival kit, and an emergency reflective blanket. Nearby, a small trickle of water ran down the canyon wall. It wasn't much, but it was enough. Using rocks and the blanket, she created a small shelter to protect herself from the intense afternoon sun. During the hottest hours, she stayed in the shade and conserved energy. To remain mentally strong, she built a simple daily routine: manage water, stay cool, and focus only on making it through each day. Meanwhile, when Alex and Emily failed to return, search teams began scanning the vast park. Days later, they discovered the couple's abandoned vehicle and the note pointing toward Mormon Point, the crucial clue rescuers needed. Back in the canyon, Emily suddenly heard a distant sound breaking the silence. A helicopter. Her heart raced as she grabbed the reflective blanket and waved it with all her strength. The helicopter passed overhead, then turned back. Sunlight flashed off the blanket, catching the crew's attention. She had been seen. Because the canyon was narrow and winds were unpredictable, the rescue took time. Later, a drone arrived to confirm her location, signaling that help was finally close. The following morning, a search and rescue team returned. Lowering rescuers into the tight canyon was extremely difficult, but after several attempts, they finally reached her. As Emily was lifted into the air, she looked down at the endless desert below, stunned that anyone had managed to find her in such a massive wilderness. She was flown to a hospital, where doctors treated her severely injured ankle. They later explained that keeping her shoe on had helped reduce swelling, a small but important survival instinct. After several days of recovery, Emily returned home, forever changed by the experience. She had faced isolation, injury, and overwhelming loss, yet her determination carried her through. Later that year, a piece of legislation Alex had supported was renamed in his honor, creating a lasting tribute to his love for the outdoors. Emily's survival is a powerful reminder that preparation matters, small decisions can save lives, and the human spirit is stronger than we often realize. Because sometimes, survival isn't about strength alone. It's about choosing not to quit, even when everything around you says to give up.